It's the same one.
Okay. Can you give us like a big bravado entrance though, Josh?
Like a...
How do you hear my voice on this one?
Yeah.
Does it sound different?
You do sound different. That sounds pretty cool.
That's what I was thinking, like that reverb effect on you saying like welcome to
yeah,
Mike.
that would be
I don't
cool.
know.
Can you reverb me?
It only works on my mic. I don't know why.
That's awesome.
We can just leave Evan
I
like
know.
that. the
Leave
whole
Evan
time.
like that the whole time. That's actually his true voice. He's been masking it though. Oh, that is him. That Evan, thank you for revealing your true self.
Hey guys, just wanted to come on the podcast today and just let you know who I really am.
Makes me very uncomfortable.
This is good. My palms are sweaty now. So
All right. Well, getting into it, today's podcast is all about South by Southwest, which we attended this week. So it's going to be a reflection. And we're going to tell Evan all about our stories.
you're gonna love it.
You're going to enjoy it. But first, I have something for everyone in this room.
Oh
So hold on.
no. Bryce, he's going off script. He's going AWOL. Oh, I said that I was supposed to bring these in, and you were like, "Good thing you didn't. Good thing you didn't." This podcast is hopefully going to be sponsored someday by C4.
Well, they basically sponsored us for the last week because they gave us free C4 every day at the conference.
They did.
That turns out they're in Austin, Texas. So that
Oh,
makes
are
sense.
they really?
Yeah.
Okay. It boosts metabolism and supports fat loss, and it sharpens mental focus.
It also gives me the shakes.
All right.
Good.
I'm cracking it open.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, this one does it have caffeine in it? I don't know if it has caffeine. I didn't see any caffeine in it.
What are you talking about?
I don't see caffeine in mine.
Well, where's...
See? There's no caffeine.
Yeah, it says 200 milligrams natural caffeine. Bottom right.
Bottom right. Ah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
You got it. You got it.
It's just no sugar.
I like no sugar.
It's a mental booster.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. Not to you, though.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Wow, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, so we ran on C4 for the last week because they were giving it out for free at the conference. You walk by the convention center, and they just give you a free C4.
We had a bunch of C4 strapped to our chest. We were all ready to go.
But I think it was actually a fantastic marketing play because you never see people walking around with C4. You know, Evan, have you ever seen someone just like walking down the street drinking a C4?
No, not really. It's mostly Red Bulls or Monsters.
Yeah.
Did you even know what C4 was?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I drink quite a bit of energy drinks on the weekend, though. I run like only on the weekend.
Oh, that's a weekend activity
yeah.
for you.
I stay up late, you know.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So
Yeah, Pal World.
Ghost is my energy drink of choice right now.
Yeah, because they have all those fun flavors.
Yeah, they got fun flavors. Yeah.
But-
Sour Patch Kids.
But this was really effective because you saw hundreds or thousands of people walking around with C4 in their hand, walking around Austin, Texas. And you see all these people who are like you and interested in the same things carrying it around. So it makes you think like, oh, this is a popular drink.
It's what cool people drink.
So for like, this one period of time, it was popular. And now it's going to be a lasting effect for some people, literally getting people addicted. If every day at a conference when you're having a good time, you're drinking these, you're going to associate that with a good time, and then you're going to keep...
Did you associate it with a good time?
I associate it with a good time.
And you were like, this is where my new life is headed. C4.
C4, smart energy. No, it was the only thing keeping me going. And then I legitimately had withdrawals after the conference.
Oh man! In the airport was a sad day because we had none left, so could not bring them with us. So
It was sad. But I'll throw up a little picture under the screen. This was us.
look at that.
Look at us.
This was a little hack, by the way. So you know what you do? This was a whole line. You see that person in the background? They spent forever in this line to get a picture with that silly sign there, and we're just like, you know what? We're just going on the sidelines, just taking a picture, cutting all the line.
Yep.
It's good.
So that's a little South by Southwest travel hack for you if you're ever interested. I guess for anyone who doesn't know, we should describe what South by Southwest is. First, I'll give maybe the proper definition of it, and then we can give our own. But South by Southwest is like is a confluence of music, and movies and tech and a bunch of other things all in one, like this big mega conference in Austin. Happens every year. The tech side of it, I think, is a more recent addition, which is what we went for, tech and startups, and it kind of kicked off the week. But yeah, it's a wild experience. But in your maybe 5-word description, what was your experience at South by
5
Southwest?
words. Mass chaos with tech.
We did it in 4.
I didn't even need 5. Discard the extra word.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely chaotic.
It was.
It was, yeah. When I was thinking about how I describe it, mass was in there as well. It was like massive networking. But it was like loud, massive networking. Is what it was for us, because there's a conference component where you can go to all these talks and different events, and we didn't do so much of that.
No.
Our time was spent more networking, because we got there and there were like 50 people that we knew that were also there. And then all these other people were ready to mingle. So we were just talking to everyone we could. So 100+ conversations, interesting people. So.
I was telling people that my voice is still shot. You can hear it. And we would be in a venue and we'd be talking to people, and people would be like, because the music's so loud, be like, "What's your name? What's yours?" And we'd have to like go out next to each other's ear, and it was pretty chaotic. But that's how you lose your voice really fast.
All of Austin just had music playing.
Yes.
You just hear this beat in the background everywhere. Just boop,
Yeah,
everywhere you go.
everywhere.
You
Yes.
could not escape it.
It was one guy with a drum going up and down all the streets. No, it was several.
And it was like 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. every day. It was just
Every
constant
day.
music playing, people
Yes.
wanting to network. And Austin is a very stimulated town. I don't think it was just the C4 keeping people going there.
No.
Because they were all like, they all had a sense of urgency. Everyone
Yes.
had somewhere to be.
The Uber drivers loved it. Sarcasm, very much so. Our Uber driver only used one word that started with F the whole time, and was just like driving, and he'd hit a roadblock, F, go over to the right, F. And it's like, man, you do South by Southwest. They hate it.
Yeah. I had one Uber driver who loved it.
Really?
But I think he was
Making money. He's making money right now.
He was. That's what he said. He's like, I make more money doing this than anything else. So he's like going to go to all these different events. But this guy just made eye contact with me in the rearview mirror the entire time he was driving. So
And you were like, you should probably concentrate on the road.
yeah, he almost rear-ended multiple people. He was triggering my anxiety. It was not good.
We were telling, maybe he's got that AI mirror we were talking about, where it just the eyes are just fixated on you the whole time.
Yeah, what were we joking about? NVIDIA has like the eye tracking auto
Yes.
correction. That's what he has. He has an NVIDIA powered rearview mirror. Here's a picture Josh took of me. This is very nice. So there was a HubSpot for startups truck there. HubSpot did an awesome job. I think we have a couple stories about HubSpot there. But they gave out smoothies to anyone who wanted to. Obviously, you just had to give up all your personal information to get it. But it was an okay smoothie. You really liked the smoothie.
Yeah, it was decent. I mean, I wouldn't rate it super high, but it was hot that day. So for me, I was like, oh, this quenches my thirst.
That's true. It was 85 degrees, and Josh is wearing thicker clothes than that.
Yeah. It was bad. I chose the wrong attire almost every single day, I feel like.
But this was one of the better lead capture activities that were happening, lead gen activities that were happening there. And so we were wondering, like, what did it cost to outfit a smoothie truck for a day? Because they just slapped all this graphic over an existing smoothie truck, got some smoothie company to come out, and then staffed a couple people there to draw in attention. I wonder how good it was for them.
It was good. I mean, there is a lot of we were talking about all the different out of the box things you could do that sets you apart from everyone else, because there was just so much noise everywhere, so many people.
Yeah. The other HubSpot thing that they did was the HubSpot Unicorn Party, which was a fun time.
Yes.
So they threw a party, like anyone could get in, or you
I
had
have
to be.
no idea.
I guess you had to register for it, but
You had to be a startup, right? Or like in the ecosystem of startups.
yeah, that was the first time I've ever been vetted by a bouncer for, are you part of a startup? That was
Yes.
a weird vetting process. But we got in, and it was free food, free drinks, and they gave out all these like unicorn things, like unicorn headbands and sunglasses, and there's someone
wild.
dressed up as an inflatable unicorn. The food was really good.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I thought it was good too.
They had this nasty orange champagne drink though.
I didn't try it.
Yeah, it was gross. And as soon as I walked in, I got cornered by someone. So that was the only thing that I had for so long. And I was like, oh, this is horrible. But the really cool thing about it was that if you were a unicorn, a startup unicorn, they would do this fire dance for you. Did you see the fire dance?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see it?
I saw like people with sparklers. Is that what you
Yeah.
mean? Oh, okay. That's not a fire dance. That's a
Okay.
sparkler dance.
All right. Sorry. They did an intense sparkler dance. So multiple people would get sparklers and just start like screaming and cheering and all that. And then they start giving out shots to people too. And
Alcohol and sparklers always go well together.
yeah, very well together. And what small win for Michigan when we were there. One of the unicorns, I think there were 2 unicorns that came through on that night, maybe more before or after we were there. But one of them was from Michigan, which was really cool.
What one was that?
So that would be Doug's song for
Ah, nice. Yeah.
Duo Security. So
Nice.
yeah, so that was cool. Good
You're
job.
gonna
Michigan.
have to explain to me what a startup unicorn is.
Okay. You want to give the definition?
Oh, sure. Startup unicorn is going to be any startup that's reached like a $1 billion valuation, which is pretty hard to get to.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a new startup, unique startup.
It is very unique to hit
Yeah,
$1 billion
no, that's true.
valuation. Yeah.
Yeah. So Michigan, I think in the last decade has had like 5 unicorn startups. Obviously, most of the unicorn startups are going to be in Silicon Valley. So yeah,
Cool.
It's pretty neat. It's good.
it was good.
That line though was like over an hour. We had to wait in line for this thing for an hour. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, but I had to wait in the line because I told my daughter I was going to a unicorn party and I'd take pictures of the unicorns. And so then I had to wait for an hour to get in. We also saw this talk. Guy Kawasaki and Mark Rober. Evan, do you know Mark Rober?
I do.
Yeah,
I do know Mark Rober. His YouTube channel is extremely popular.
Yes, so it is.
Yeah. So this was a pretty good talk. Mark Rober was just kind of like recapping his career, talking about his content creation process. And Guy Kawasaki has his own podcast, right? Called Remarkable People, something like that. And they also just released a book. So we went there because we thought it was going to be Guy Kawasaki talking. It ended up being mostly Mark Rober. But Mark
Which is still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Josh had to sneak into this event because
did.
they wouldn't let him in.
They Bryce got there first, and there was a line, and I go up there and I'm like, hey, I had to use the bathroom. I'm coming back, and they're like, no, I don't believe you. Get in the back of the line. So then I circle back, come back, and act like I'm on the phone, and I just walk in.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Act like you belong.
I act like I belonged. People are like, oh, you
the
must.
confidence.
Yeah, I did. That's my confidence walk.
He was bumping into a lot of people along the way.
Shoulder bumping him.
Yeah. And then we saw some startup pitches. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, they were all AI-based startups. Do you have the list of the startups?
I can kind of bring them up as we talk about them.
So there were a couple of startups that were AI-based. It was fascinating. The couple things that we saw were, I think one of the things that stood out as every single startup was doing their pitch is they kept putting this traction slide up that was like, look at this traction. But really it was like they could rename it to say investment. People like totally think that traction is equivalent to investment, which that was a whole thing that we went off on a trail. But there was Autonomize, CarViz, GAN AI. Did we see my part? Yep, that was cool. So each of these startups, I mean, at maybe a couple sentences, Autonomize is basically helping healthcare knowledge come in, make data-driven decisions. CarViz is basically this. You can take your phone and you can scan the car, interior, exterior, be able to sell used cars and know what's going on with them if there's dents and scratches. GAN AI was pretty cool. I mean, it lets you, send out these at scale video messages, replacing what they're saying with like your name. So if you're like, hey, so-and-so, and it would actually use AI so you don't have to, if you had 1,000 people in a mailing list, it could replace all the names. So those were pretty cool.
This was the one that won the pitch competition.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. We've covered similar technology on the podcast before, like HeyGen, and there's a couple others, but this one won. So check it out if you need to do any video marketing. This is CarViz, Autonomize, which we met with Autonomize.
Ganesh,
yep. Very compelling founder. And then Song Hunt. Maybe I want to get Evan's take on Song Hunt, maybe.
Yeah, do it.
So do you want to talk about Song Hunt
Sure.
a little bit?
So the idea is that if you wanted to search for a song, like any song, like if you liked Taylor Swift, but you were in an angry mood, you could effectively say, yeah, Taylor Swift, but angrier. And you could effectively find songs that are like that. So I don't know if you would find this useful.
Interesting.
But yeah, you can kind of explore. It kind of catalogs. What did they say? It was like the first thing to catalog actual lyrics and full understanding of lyrics, a full understanding of like music, a full understanding of like all the aspects of it. So it's a search engine. Their whole vision was, on your Google search, and you can be like Google Images. They were like, what if you could say like songs? And so I'm not going to taint you with perspective here. I want to hear what you have to say.
How does it ever get confused on? So say I want a song that feels angry.
Oh,
but so the melody is poppy and happy, but the lyrics are like
angry.
Mean.
Well, we could try it.
Mix those. That's what I like. If I want a melody that's hard and mean, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of songs out there that it's like, oh, the melody's fun, but the lyrics are actually like really serious or like sad or
yeah.
So I'm just wondering if it would ever like mix it up and give you like a peppy feeling song if you're looking for a sad one because the lyrics.
I don't know. I haven't used it long enough, but yeah, fun melody but angry lyrics. There you go. Let's try that. Songs that are cheerful, pleasant, happy with lyrics that feel angry. All right.
All right. There we go.
So there you go. See?
It acts like it knows what to do.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Does it feel cheerful?
It doesn't feel cheerful. Although that is a little cheery when you get into it.
It does. I'm gonna try one more. What do you think? Forgiveness and Paramore? That could get there.
Oh yeah, it's kind of cheerful and pleasant, and maybe the lyrics are angry.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, at least acts like it and knows the
Yeah.
right thing to do.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Evan? Is this
I think
Is this up there with Sora in your mind?
no. Well, the only reason I wouldn't use this as much is not because it's not good, is because it's not useful to me. With like all of our songs, we use uncopyrighted music.
Okay.
You know.
What about you personally? Like not just professionally?
Yeah, it would be hard for this to like replace Spotify's Discover Weekly that they offer me, or I've been using the DJ lately, which picks songs for you. So
Yeah.
but in general, I just don't go searching music based on those like keywords.
Criteria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't search for angry Taylor Swift often.
I don't search for angry Taylor Swift, but I don't search for generalized music or categorized music like this often at all, really.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it looks like it works great.
So your assessment is exactly our sentiment. Is like we looked at this and we said, "Oh, that's pretty cool," but then we're like, "I don't know if people would actually use this over a Spotify or a Pandora or a already out there."
Yeah.
And we feel as though this is going to eventually probably just be baked in to like something like this into Spotify or Pandora. So it's
Yeah, I know we already have websites that we go to for like the uncopyrighted music.
Yeah.
So which I'm on all the time, searching for music categorized, but in my personal life, I don't do it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Some other startup related things. So there are those pitches on the big stage, and they were okay. But like you said, the big knock against them was that their traction slides were just that they raise money, which we don't like seeing that. We want to see customers. Then on a smaller stage at the Midwest House, which Midwest House was pretty awesome. Apparently at South by Southwest, there's this concept of houses, which you equate it to Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Like Slytherin, you know?
For some reason, you didn't think of the idea of like frat houses.
No, it's Harry Potter. Totally Harry Potter. Upstairs, you can learn about the spells that Midwest House has. It's pretty cool. We did it. The cauldron, the whole 9 yards.
So there's the Midwest House, which used to be the Michigan House, but now it's Midwest House. And then there's like
Tennessee
Texas House, Tulsa House. There's all these different
Canada
houses.
House.
Canada House. Yeah, that was coincidentally way north in the city. And it's just like not easy to get to.
Sounds like Canada.
Yeah. So there are all these houses around South by Southwest, and then you could go find people that were, from your geographic area, which was pretty cool. It was a nice, like one-stop shop for us to go to and just meet some really cool people and like just expand out our network a little bit. So I'm going to try to bring up a photo from it. But anything else you want to say about Midwest House or the pitches there?
No, it was really good. We got to see some startups that we'd been supporting from the get-go, like Vetter. Call out to Vetter. That was a cool startup. There was a bunch of other cool ones as well that went and pitched. So yeah, Midwest. We hung out a lot at Midwest House. It was a cool. It's funny. It's you have to go. We were joking. You'd have to go to Midwest House to find people that are only a few miles away, but we have to go all the way to Texas to like meet them. So it was kind of like that. But we got to meet a bunch of cool people. So.
Yeah, that was a funny moment for me because I went there hoping to just like broaden my network, which I did. I did meet a lot of people who were outside the state and all that, but I'm having a conversation with someone for a good, good 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then we finally get to the point of, oh, where are you from? And so I went to Texas to meet people from around the country, and this person says, oh, I'm from Hello, West Michigan.
And you're like, dang it,
that's my backyard. Yeah, so. Rachel, nice to meet you. She was awesome, but it was funny that you just everywhere you went, you would just find all these people from Michigan. It was really cool. But this was a picture from Midwest House. It was an awesome place. Basically, Midwest House took over this bar called Half Step, and you can get in for free. You just have to sign up on the Midwest House site or Eventbrite and RSVP for it. But we got to have some awesome conversations while we were there, and there's some good programming too. The pitch competition, then there were talks from Lieutenant Governor and a bunch of different interesting people. Each day of the Midwest House is focused on a different part of the Midwest. So there's a Chicago day, I think a St. Louis day, a Michigan day, and it was really fun.
Monday was Michigan Day. It's good.
Yep, it was good. Some not so good things. Do you want to talk about Bad Luck Barker?
Oh my gosh, Evan, I had some really bad luck on the trip. It was pretty bad luck all the way around. It started literally at the airport. And so I'm walking through the airport, and we stopped to go get some food. We're in between flights, don't have time to like go get food at like a restaurant. I grab beef jerky, and I'm like, this is going to be good. Grab it. We're going on the airplane. First of all, I sit down, and I get specialized seats that I'm like, I'm going to get some work done. I am going to get some work done. And there's no tray table at all in front of me. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, as I'm walking to my seat, I put my bag up, and all of the beef jerky spills everywhere, all over the seat. Yeah, all over. And so I'm not going to eat someone's sweaty butt infested beef jerky.
Shoot.
So I just throw it all away. And so thus started Bad Luck Barker. And it was through the duration of the trip too. There was quite a few instances like that.
Can you text me your hotel picture really quick?
Oh yeah, I should do that.
Because you didn't get that one to me. Yeah, everywhere we went, Josh had mild bad luck. And I was having mildly good luck for things like on the airplane. Like I had empty seats next to me every part of the flight.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. It was great. Did you send it to me?
Yeah, I did.
What did you say? You said you had specialized seats?
Yeah, like when you're
Like,
on.
what does that mean?
It means like when you're on a flight, you can like upgrade your seat. They nickel and dime you for everything these
okay.
days, you know. So
It's okay, so it's a kind of seat.
yeah,
Like,
so you can choose the seat on the airplane, right?
Yeah.
And so I chose a seat, and I was like, I'm gonna pay an extra $20 for that seat.
okay.
And then I get there, and I did it because I'm like extra leg room. I'm gonna get some work done, and then there is no tray table for me to get any work done. So it was.
Did all of those kind of seats not have tray tables?
They
You just
didn't.
know?
The whole row didn't have tray tables.
okay.
They should really put a notification to be like, there are no tray tables.
I
Just-
agree.
yeah.
That's huge. I always use the tray
See,
table.
I do too. What are you gonna do? Like put it in your lap the whole time?
Yeah.
So did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so this setting the stage for what Bryce is about to show. Here's another mild bad luck. We go in to check into the hotel, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're on, sir. You're on. This is the hotel person to me. You're on floor 4." And then I go to Bryce. You're on floor 11, and I'm joking with Bryce. I'm like, "Yeah, you got the executive suite, man." We walk into our hotel rooms. This is Bryce's view, which is gorgeous. And I'm sitting here going, wow, that's so nice. That's amazing. And then this is my view. Side by side, I'm like, this is garbage. So this is par for the course for the trip. Bryce just got the luxury liner of everything. So
And Josh put in the hard work. He booked the hotel. He figured out where to stay, which is not easy because everything was so expensive by the time we went to book. And he got this good deal and all that. Just put it on work. They're like, sir, this is all we have. Fourth floor. And then they give me the 11th. And it's nice.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. The hotel was very disorganized. I will say, I would not recommend the hotel we stayed in. It was breakfast was chaos. So you have to have, Evan, these breakfast coupons they give you. Like, so you have to bring them down and be like, because it comes with free breakfast. So you go down, give it to, you have to first of all find someone to give to. You give it to them, and then the crazy thing is the people you give them to, I don't even think they know what they are. And so they're just like, why did you give me this piece of paper? And you have to explain the whole thing. You're like, is this for breakfast? And then they're like, why are you giving it to me? And you're like, I need silverware because there is none. And so they give you the silverware. And it's just a whole hunting down and finding people to give you your silverware, to your drink, to where do I sit? And you got to tell them about what happened the day. Like you gave feedback to this guy about
about the
This-
breakfast.
this
You
was
gave
like-
feedback.
Yeah, well, this was like real life training and AI model, or because it was working with limited instructions and then it overcorrected. So this young guy. So the weekend crew was bad, but then we got to the weekday crew.
and we're like, we want the weekend.
Bring back the weekend.
Oh no.
So we get to the weekday, and it's this real young guy. He's like a kid, probably a teenager, nice enough kid, but just had no clue what was going on. And so it's a buffet style. So I eat my first plate, and then I get up to go get like a yogurt or something, and I come back, and then everything's just gone. I was like 15 seconds, and he's grabbed it all, and he's gone. And I sit down, and then this older guy who's working there comes by. He's like, "Hey, where's your stuff?" I was like, "You tell me. I don't." I was like,
They were on it.
I was like, I don't know. They took all my stuff away, and I need stuff. And he's like, oh man, he just shakes his head. He's like so upset with this young kid, obviously. So the next day, Josh goes there separately. Like we have not been together. And so Josh goes there, and then
I go there and I get the opposite. So his stuff is taken immediately. I walk down to an empty room with no people in it, but all the silverware and plates are on every table. And I'm like, I don't know where to sit. And so I tell the guy, I'm like, can I sit at one of these tables? And he's like, I don't know, man. There could be people that come back. So you're looking around and you're like, there's no one here. I'm pretty sure they're all gone. So I have to like move the plate over. And he's like, I think they're going to come back. I'm like, if they come back, we'll put out the plate again. How's that? And he's like, oh, okay. And he takes the plate away. Meanwhile, I'm eating at my table with like 3 plates around me that are half eaten. I'm like, this is so weird. It was chaotic. So chaotic.
the same kid, again, nice kid, just was bewildered the entire time. This woman comes up to him and says, hey, do you have that jar of honey? And he's like, no. And she said, no, the jar of honey. Like, I know I saw you guys have it. It's like, we don't have any honey. No. And she's like, no, I saw you with the honey yesterday. You had it. And he's like, I don't know. 5 minutes later, the older guy comes by who works there, and he has the jar of honey and gives it to her. This guy's just causing complete chaos.
Oh man, it was quite a trip. It was good. But that was part of the bad luck. But luckily, Bryce was part of the bad luck in that instance.
And your bad luck was rubbing off on me. So we go, before that day, we had gone to a food truck. Yeah. It's Austin. What do? You go have a food truck. And we had the hardest time going to these food trucks. Like that's a theme too. It's just everything we did wrong. Apparently, we're always going the opposite direction of where everyone was going. Trying to get into places, they yell at us to get out.
Yes.
We were just doing everything wrong. But we finally get to this food truck that we wanted for 2 days, and we get these quesadillas. You got a steak quesadilla. I got a brisket quesadilla. There happened to be no brisket in mine, but that's another issue.
Oh no!
But it gets better.
Yeah. So then Josh and I sit down, and at this point we're pretty beat too. Like the week has been wearing on us, and we sit down in these seats, still near the food truck, and we're like halfway through our quesadillas, and we look up, and the police are there, and the health inspector's there, and they shut down the food truck.
And we just ate out of.
Yeah. We were the last people served, and we were halfway through our food.
In my head, I'm getting in my head about this, and I'm like, I think I hear whispers of like that the steak is undercooked, and you're like, look at yours, and Bryce is like, I'm good, man. I have no meat on mine. Oh man,
yeah, and so that was unfortunate. And then like a
was
minute,
this like a place that was highly recommended? Because you said you guys have been
lots
watching
of
it.
people said, they said it was great. Yeah,
it was also convenient. It was like a food truck park nearby the Midwest House. Yeah. But yeah, and then while we're sitting, a bird poops on me. That also happened.
Yes.
So it was like these are not stacking up nicely for us.
I felt like I was tempted to sit in his seat, and I think then I was like, I don't know, man, I'm sitting over here. So it was my bad luck that you got dumped on by a bird.
Those Austin birds, I am not.
They're pretty bold.
Happy with them.
Yeah, they're bold, man.
They're bold. They're aggressive. They hide out in trash cans.
They pop out.
You go to throw something away, and then there's just this crow come flying out at you. Yeah, it was terrifying. So that was a theme, though. Bad Luck Barker was for real.
It was a real thing. I hope I get better luck when I'm in Michigan. That's what I hope.
It was so good. What else do we have here? Another call out to the startups, I guess, because we wanted to make this clear. Like the people on stage pitching did not stand out as much to us as the people hustling on the streets.
Yes.
So we talked about a couple different lead gen things that were out there from the bigger companies like C4 giving out free drinks, and then HubSpot doing their smoothies and the party. But there were a lot of startups that were just walking around with their branded merch on and trying to sell.
Just like this.
Yeah.
They were all walking around like, I own this place, just with Josh's confident strut.
Some were doing it better than others. Like some made you very uncomfortable as you walked by, and you're like, no, thank you. And then others were pretty pleasant. But I think next year, we're going to try to talk to every single one of those startups that are out there hustling.
Yeah, a couple lessons learned. I don't know if you want to go into that, but like one of them was we don't need a badge. Like we had this badge that got us into the main conference center, and it was like, it felt super pointless because we only went to a couple of the big sessions, which were good. We can talk about those in a minute, but they were good. But most of the magic happened outside of the conference, like the main conference center. So
yeah, I agree. If you are going purely for tech and startups, and especially if it's like your money, then don't get the badge.
Yeah,
it will get you into a couple talks. But the talks aren't, they're not that great. They're okay. Really, the badge is going to be worth it if you're going to the movie premieres, the music premieres, that type of stuff, which Josh and I simply did not have time to do.
No.
We did put on our calendar, like go to these comedy shows, go to this music event, go to whatever, and we just couldn't get to it because there was so much other stuff happening. So, if you're going to go and you're going to be there for a week, and you are going to go to the music and the movies,
might be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're just going to go there because you want to network and see cool startups and technology, then just get a cheap hotel or Airbnb, get your cheapest flight, get down there and go to the Midwest House, go to these other houses that have free entry.
Ton of free events. And then we also, which we'll talk about, we bumped into someone when we were at we just got some bourbon, went down this, I can't remember the name of the place. You probably remember it.
Like Dumont's Down Low or
That's
something like
Dumont's Down Low. We went down there, and the crazy thing is we met some local Austin people, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you got to check out this link," because he showed us his calendar, and we looked at his calendar, and I'm like, "Man, these events you're going to are like exactly what we would want to go to." And he was like, "Oh, you got to check out this Google Doc, man," and it's like a Google Doc full of all of these unsanctioned events, like locally around town, and we were just like, if we knew about these, I don't think we would have a main badge. We would just go to all these unsanctioned events.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there are all these other things happening that you just don't know about. So, yeah, I think some more pre-work next time would help us out. Talking, all these people that we want to meet up with that we knew were going, we probably should have scheduled with them. Like we spent a lot of time in the first 2 days with people that were going to be there for 5 days, and we could have just waited to hang out with them. And so it was a little more stressful and chaotic than it needed to be.
yes.
But yeah, the unsanctioned event list, and I want to talk about that guy for a minute, because we wanted to go to South by Southwest to just broaden our networks, meet new people, see what Austin was like, all that. And that is definitely a positive that, obviously South by Southwest drew a lot of people to Austin, but even the local talent that was there, they were great. We had some amazing conversations with people that were in Austin, and some of it was crazy how it manifested. Josh and I were walking down the street saying, like, what we don't have around us locally is just some like really strong B2B SaaS growth marketers. We just don't have those locally. And we sit down at this bourbon place, and the guy across from us introduces himself, and he literally says, "Hi, I'm a B2B SaaS growth marketer for hire."
And we're like, "You are the man of our dreams."
So we were pretty excited about that. That was a small win for us, but a lot of talent there. We went to Capital Factory. First time they kicked us out.
Yes.
Second time we got it.
That
Well, they
looked
still
bugger.
kind of kicked us out the second time too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Capital Factory was a cool startup hub there. So in conclusion, would you go again?
Yes, I would go again. Change a bunch of stuff. Make it, someone told me before, I didn't really fully understand until I got there. They said the greatest advice they'd give is embrace the chaos, and they said be there for the networking. And I was like, that was the conclusion. It's like, embrace the chaos. You're going to be in the wrong spot. You're never going to be at the right spot at the right time. You're going to do the wrong things. It's okay. You're going to find the little guy at the hotel that tells you can't sit anywhere, even though no one's there. It's okay. Embrace the chaos.
It's a good summary.
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to know about South by, Evan?
Yeah, one last thing. How'd you guys get kicked out?
Out of
this one
out of
place?
which thing?
It was constant.
Is it just lack of credentials, or like you guys were
So-
making a ruckus? And
I mean, it was par for the course. The Capital Factory one was like, we walk in and it was like, you're at the wrong place. I asked what this thing was, and she's like, you need to register over here. I went over there. They're like, you need to register using the QR code. I try and register using the QR code. They're like, there's no seats left. And I'm like, I give up. And then we try and go into the place, and they're like, you got to get out of here. You can't be in here. And we felt like we were doing all the wrong things.
Okay.
That's a high level summary. So, but
It wasn't like a bouncer was kicking you guys out. 'cause
No,
you-
I almost got tackled by one. I felt like when I saw Mark Cuban though. So that was
I forgot about the Mark Cuban story.
Mark Cuban.
This was a Barker bad luck story turned into good luck. Like he had an arc here. It was great. So we are on day one, I think it was day one. We're at the convention center. Josh just had 4 bad things happen to him in a row, and then he's like, "I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right out." He's in there for 30 seconds. The 30 seconds he's in there, Mark Cuban just strolls right by, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's Mark Cuban!" I didn't say anything to him because I didn't want to like be rude or whatever. Stop him. He has headphones in. I'm like, I don't want to be
That guy.
So then Josh comes out. I'm like, Josh, you're not gonna believe this. Mark Cuban was here, and Josh, he wasn't here. I don't believe you. He's hating on me. I was like, no, I swear he was. We like tried to find where he went. We couldn't find him. I was like, I promise he was here. And then it's later that day,
Evening. Yeah.
in the evening. So we had gone to some social events. We had a drink or two in us. And
Something it was loose. We were pretty loose.
we're walking to a comedy club to see a show, and Josh and I are talking, and then
I walk down the street. Mark Cuban comes this way, just waltzing in front of me. And I don't just say, oh, look, it's Mark Cuban. I go, Mark Cuban! And he's like, oh.
full stop,
Full stop. Yeah, exactly. So I made a fool of myself. So someday when I meet him, I'll be like, you remember that drunken guy? I was the drunken guy. And he was like, oh, which one? Like,
But I'm sure that happens to him often.
And I want to call out, between the first time we saw Mark Cuban and the second time, Josh and I had conversations about like, if we ever saw him again, what would we say? What would be your pitch? What would you do?
and I did exactly what I said I was going to do.
We had game planned it. We're
Did
like,
you, so did you just yell at him?
Oh yeah, that's all I did.
And then
I had
kept-
no
just kept
follow up.
going?
No follow up. He just turns around
There's
like
no picture
like I'm gonna
or-
come up to him, and I'm just like waving like an idiot. And I was like, we just need to leave right now. That's what Bryce was thinking.
yeah, because it wasn't about us like wanting to talk to Mark Cuban. It was about us proving that Mark Cuban was real.
yeah.
Josh and I were having our
Sure,
own
yeah.
moment because I didn't even see. I still didn't see. Josh just out of nowhere starts yelling, Mark Cuban. I was like, he didn't say, hey, Mark Cuban's over there. Take a look. He's just starts yelling Mark Cuban in the middle of Austin, Texas. So I'm looking around.
Oh,
What are you
man.
talking about? So
But you saw him. He was there.
I did. It took me the third look in your third time of yelling Mark Cuban and the full stop of Mark Cuban's.
Oh man, it was good.
It was pretty, yeah. So we saw him. Conan O'Brien was there too. We did not yell at Conan O'Brien.
No, he was hilarious. He's got a new show on HBO Max. We should all check out. So
Yeah, it was really good. That was a knee slapper presentation. Then went to a couple comedy shows that were good too. Austin, Texas is a great comedy scene. So good place to go. So we'll be back. I think we also were able to meet up with our team members who are in Texas. So
yes.
So I think we're going to make it a regular habit to go back there, see our team, try to spend more time with the Austin startup scene as well, because that was pretty cool. But we'll be back, and then we'll go again South by next year. So if anyone else is thinking about going to South by Southwest next year,
Do it
do it.
and get your C4.
I was going to say, and talk to us about it so we can make a plan.
Oh yeah. Talk to us about it, and we'll make a plan to see Mark Cuban together.
There you go.
That's it. All right, Evan, play us out.
Bap, bap, bap.
Bam, 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 bam.
There we go. All right, you got to put the reverb on your mic. What are you going to say, Evan?
Yeah.
This one. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a City Innovations production.
Oh.
It's amazing. It's amazing.